Hey, I'm Ronald and I'm a relationship and family therapist. There's so many theories of relationships on TikTok, and this is my reaction. The invisible string theory. Essentially, this is suggesting the idea of a soulmate that you're destined to be with. My problem with the theory is love is made, not found. And the idea that you're destined to be with someone is kind of passive. I believe that you grow in love, you don't fall in love. And making relationships work is about being the right person rather than just finding the right person. And the idea of a soulmate gives the impression that love should be effortless because after all, you found the one, the person you're supposed to be with, your perfect match. There should be no problems and you shouldn't need to make an effort. But this only invites complacency. The next one's the February theory. Okay, so this seems to be about love comes when you least expect it. And it's not really a new concept. And I think it's just a product of just being human. Relationships aren't exactly quantifiable, but we like to think that they are. We match people based on similar personalities or interests, and we equate that to compatibility. And then there are some couples that make their differences work, and somehow that's unexpected. Being able to navigate and integrate your differences, I think, is part of a successful relationship. It's about learning to be complementary, and maybe it can feel a bit unexpected because it's not what people think of when they think compatibility. This is the bird test.
Today I'm going to be giving my girlfriend the bird test. So basically I'm going to say something super random to her with genuine excitement. And if she matches my energy, that's real good for the long-term success of our relationships, okay? Don't fuck this up. Oh my God, baby, the hummingbirds are back. Look, they're in the feeder right there, look.
You know this means we're gonna have good luck for the rest of the day.
Yes, I know, look.
Where?
You don't see them fluttering around it.
No, I'm not stupid.
They're so cute.
It.
No, look.
Babe, I don't see them.
I'm sorry.
What?
I didn't think you were gonna get this thing.
Why would you do
I
that?
feel bad. I just want to see who would pass the bird test.
The bird test?
The bird test. You passed with flying colors, no pun intended.
I almost feel like someone has gone to couples therapy and taken it a little bit too literally, because that's exactly the example that I give couples. So there's a relationship researcher named John Gottman, and he talks about turning towards as opposed to turning away. Where turning towards is to acknowledge your partner's bid for connection, and turning away means to ignore or dismiss your partner's bid. And a bid for connection is a way that partners seek out connection. It can be verbal or non-verbal, it can be serious, it can be joking or sexual in nature, or in this case, pointing to a bird. And in his research, John Gottman cites a golden ratio of 5:1. And this ratio correlates with the satisfaction that couples have of their relationship. 5:1 meaning 5 positive interactions for every 1 negative interaction. And achieving this ratio meant that couples either had a more positive perspective of their partner or a more negative perspective of their partner. And the closer to 5:1, the more positive, the closer to 1:1, the more negative, and the more likely that these couples were going to separate. And so acknowledging the bird in this instance is an example of a positive interaction. What it really comes down to is your partner's responsiveness. By being responsive to our partners, we're showing that they matter. So I would think twice about basing your entire relationship on one of these tests. It should really be an evaluation of responsiveness throughout time and in different contexts, rather than just one based on a bird. The orange peel theory. Fundamentally, we want partners who are accessible, responsive, and engaged. The underlying question is, are you there for me? And the orange peel theory is an example of this. To be engaged not only in the moment, just like in the bird test, but to continually have your partner in mind. And going that extra mile lets them know that they are continuously on your mind. And the metaphor I like to use is the metaphor of a bank loan. So when you get a loan from a bank, you're responsible for paying back the principal, which is the exact amount that you loan, plus interest, which is on top of the principal. And the interest is just paid as compensation for allowing you to have the loan in the first place. So being engaged to a point where you have in your mind that you peel your partner's oranges because they don't like to is the next level of engagement. And it's the equivalent of paying interest above and beyond what you owe. It communicates to your partner that you're there for them, you're keeping them in mind, and it helps them feel loved. And I think the last one is the boyfriend effect. So I think this is the idea that after you start dating someone, it changes everything from your appearance to your personality, to your hobbies, to your identity. And usually there is the idea that it gets worse. So a healthy relationship is a balance of togetherness and separateness. Togetherness is where we join in relationship, while separateness is where we individuate as two separate entities. And so naturally when you commit to a partner, you lose some sense of separateness. And so this is where we become more similar to our partner. And accepting your partner's influence is healthy. But where it becomes an issue is when you become enmeshed, where there is complete togetherness and no separateness at all. 1 + 1 = 1. This is where partners feel like they begin to lose their separate identity. And resentment builds in response to a lost sense of self. So these are all interesting theories. There's some merit to some of them, of course, and I think they should be taken with a grain of salt.